Frigg became queen of the corn, cared for and nurtured by Waldorf Adore, plentiful abundance for winter's store. Standing tall and straight, we duly adore. Sudden end with sharp blade, as if to war. Thine neck wilt be cut with the greatest of care, thine spirit set free by he who doth dare. With a flying scythe, falling to the ground, into 3 sheaves to be twisted and bound, preserving the spirit of summer's corn. Be born again, we shout not mourn. The corn queen spirit, now safely preserved, first loaf of bread in the rigs to be served. To the corn queen spirit, feast and wassail to the harvest queen, that us now drink hail. Revered through the long winter months of gloom, looking and guarding over spinning loom, in New Year's soil thee wilt be reborn, our offering too, a new crop of corn. We fashion thee into a small soul cake, to keep thine life whole, we wilt not thee bake. Into the mud we return thee to earth, Dolly, a symbol of goddess rebirth. The Dolly's power to be now released, after so much ploughing the drinking feast. Much ale to be drunk this Solmonoth day, that's February, this Solmonoth day, tomorrow we plough, but tonight we play. Hail to thee, Nerthus, earth mother of men, 5 blades for thine head and thine fingers 10, filled with ample rations to bring us grace. Be fruitful in Waldorf Adore's embrace. Thank you.
Yay!
So, and my second poem is the one I was mentioning. Okay, that's okay. The one I was mentioning earlier to Anya. A journalist in some strange magazine or periodical misquoted something, and I think instead of saying Scientologists, they said the Church of the New Scientist, and it used this, of course, which I was reading, and this was in the silly section, and they invited everyone to contribute to the religion of the New Scientist, the Church of the New Scientist, to send it in. So I just sent this one in. So this is my contribution. It's a prayer for the New Scientist, based on it not being a religion, of course. So, our scientist who art in lab, hallowed be thy data, thy results come, thy project done, in vivo as it is in vitriol. Give us this day our correlation, and forgive us our nitpicking, as we forgive them that nitpick against us, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from cherry picking. For truth is the kingdom, without power or glory, for years and years. Amen.
Yay!
First one, Andrew.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Oh God, the bloody computer's gone loopy. Sorry, Andrew. You know when you say corn, is corn? Did we used to have corn rather than wheat then?
Well, it's the same thing. All of these little grains can also be called corn.
Oh, can they?
Wheat is a kind of corn. Like corn on the cob is maize, because it's a corn is a little nibbly bit.
Oh, I see. This has troubled me the last few days.
This is a sheaf. This part's the neck.
Yeah,
you cut the neck.
Yeah.
And when you harvest a field, the first field of the season, the tradition was to start from the outside and you work your way spiraling into the middle until there's just one sheaf standing. And then the lads would stand at a distance and take it in turns throwing their scythes. And eventually one of them would be lucky and their scythe would cut the neck and it falls down. Yeah. And then the neck is very special. So you use the neck to make your corn dolly. And this is based on an Anglo-Saxon corn dolly. And the modern tradition up until around the 1930s was if the lad which was successful in cutting the neck would then run to the farmhouse, which was Tom Tiddler's land. When he got there, he would be safe because in this last stook that's standing, all of the little creatures in the field have run in there to get away from the harvesters. So you can imagine it's full of mice. So it's completely alive. And the spirit of the corn was contained symbolically in that last stook. So you run to the farmhouse, and all of the other lads would throw their scythes and sickles after him. So you really wanted to run fast.
Brilliant, thanks. Oh, I just...
Andrew, can I ask something, Andrew? Did you say the farmhouse was called Tom Tiddler's ground?
No, I use that expression.
Where did that come from? The Tom Tiddler's ground.
As a child, when you played certain games of tag, if you had a safe space where when you went there you couldn't be had, that's called Tom Tiddler's ground.
Well, my mum was from the south. I'm from Cumbria, but my mum was from the south, and we used to play a game called Tom Tiddler's ground in my house, but none of the other children knew it, so it was probably one that she bought up from her childhood.
My grandmother came from Newcastle way. So
well, she's probably never heard of it up there either. Well, that's interesting.
I'm with her.
Thank you.
Can I say something? There's a singer up north called Roy Harper, you might know of him, and he does a great song, maybe you'll check it out later on, called Tom Tiddler's Ground.
Right.
So, you know, maybe for bedtime listening, just type in Roy Harper, Tom Tiddler's Ground. It's a beautiful, beautiful song.
Right, I'll write it down.
Roy, R-O-Y, Harper, H-A-R-P-E-R.
Got it.
Tom Tiddler's Ground, and he's a very poetic writer, singer. You check him out, you know. Another beautiful track by him, sorry to digress, is a track called I Hate the White Man, which is very politically correct.
Yeah, sounds it.
I agree, it's excellent, but without wanting to sound corny, it sounds like corn can be amazing. Gwyneth.
Gwyneth, right.
I'd also welcome Christopher. Welcome, Christopher.
Yes, hello. Hello. I'm sorry I'm late, but I had to attend to my mother. Also, there's a carer going to come along at some point, so I'll have to disappear again and then reappear. So.
Okay, lovely. Over to Gwyneth. Two, please.
Right, as you told me Boris was being a guest, I wrote a poem for him. So here it is, because he's telling us that Christmas is coming. So I've called it Pantomime or Farce. It could only be English pantomime. Cinderella fits the bill. Poor but honest, desperate for help. Boris and Dom, the ugly sisters, obedient courtiers to do their bidding. We, the people, the paying audience. Fairy godmother has got mislaid. Prince Charming can't make up his mind. Buttons is desperately searching for answers. The pace is slow. We've lost the plot. Obedient courtiers don't make much sense. The ugly sisters have run out of words. Cinderella is failing fast. Buttons needs a fairy godmother. Prince Charming cannot be found. The end.
Very good.
And then, as I say, as Boris is being a guest, I wanted to remind him about the young people and their manifesto. We the young. Born into a world of climate crisis, demand action from the world leaders to fill the goals of the Paris Promise. Justice for the millions already suffering death and destruction from climate change. Save from extinction the world's natural species. It's a legal legacy for us to carry. The greatest threat in human history for a powerless majority who don't have a vote. But we're on the move. We will not rest. We will not accept this life of fear. Ours is the will to stop this destruction. We have the right to live, to fulfill our dreams. We will be heard before civilization collapses. That's my 2 poems for Boris.
Excellent, Gwyneth.
Gwyneth.
Beautiful. I'd like to clap, but it's an awful subject.
Right.
Can we
It's
just
an awful
comment on
subject,
Gwyneth?
yes. Say again?
Can we comment on Gwyneth's poem?
Yeah, if you like, go on.
All right, okay. No, I'm just saying, Gwyneth, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Good. Your idea of Boris's promise for Christmas and pantos is a brilliant idea. I wish I'd had that. So you might be plagiarized quite soon.
Right, well, you might make a better job.
You know who'll play the lead in all the pantomimes? That great all-rounder, Lord Ian Botham.
Ah,
Opera player. And I think he should play Cinderella. And who else? The Three Bears.
Buttons.
Buttons.
I thought maybe the speaker could be Buttons.
That would fit. Thank you, that's all.
Right.
Thank you, Dennis. Right, Tanya,
Hello.
if we can have your 2 poems.
Yes, I have 2 poems.
No.
So my poem is totally different. It's about holiday. Because we spent more time in England this time, not abroad. So my poem is about Devon. I spent some holiday once a holiday in Devon. The cottage and old tree. Shiny ivy leaves and flashing. Overgrown with a green heart. Green greyish branches. Further, they brush proudly with bark. They jump invisibly over the tree trunk. From silver of chestnuts, lavenders, of old nest of dry grass, wetlands, red clay. Houses are twisted with age. The windows are silent. That was the first poem. The another one is totally different. About our time, as well about the coronavirus time, when we spend more time at home, baking bread. So for bread, what is needed for bread is flour. So I thought I will write a poem about flour. Written by seconds. How to make a verse from this flour? Too white, too sticky, mundane. In the old pot, mixed up, verse by verse, thrown by each second. And I already thought I can write. Earth will not pull the grain. It's time to climb down. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Excellent, Tanya. You've actually persuaded me to read one of mine, which I wrote last week, which is also about a part of Devon called Blackpool Sands. It's a favourite part of my world, and so perhaps I'll read it later. But for now, can we have 2 poems from Seamus?
Thank you, Rich. I haven't written any new ones, but I think you've spoilt me with your themes. I mean, Gwyneth particularly. Can I, in keeping with her sort of thing about the environment, it's one I wrote a wee while back. It's called, excuse me, One Way World. And it's about the world is turning one way and it can't turn back. And it's actually a song that's out there somewhere, but It's called One Way World. Ain't no zone above my home, and there ain't none above yours neither. Cows gone mad on a GM fad, and the fish gone, suffering hay fever. Thick-lipped politics talk toxic slick pricks, so lazy flared up deceivers. Oh, cull the bull, unpull the wool, and save me earth, lover leaver. Oh, woe, worried world. Slow down, hurried world, your fate is not unfurled. Oh, no, one-way world. Man's dead hand impotent stands, humping and dumping in Eden, and state-raped clones, fates unknown, cosmetic, genetic inbreeding. And waylaid whales, harpoons impaled, polarized caps a-bleeding, infected skies, defecticides, rainless forests receding. Oh, woe, weary world. Hoe down, leery world, as through the space you're hurled. Oh, woe, one-way world. Strict carnivores, dead meat adores, you are what you eat and excreting. And long live life at twice the price, save for the poor, keep depleting. And so long earth and virgin birth, you took one hell of a beating. Oh, woe, no, go worried world. Confidentially, your future's history. Oh, woe, worried world. That's it. Thank you. That was Gwyneth who inspired that. And
that was more moving than Gwyneth's, I thought.
No,
of the chorus.
No, you're a wordsmith. You're a wordsmith. And the next one is we lost a great Irishman the other day called John Hume, who
yes,
beat heads together and got us in peace. But it was an awful experience I had in Northern Ireland, where this I come from a beautiful multi-racial, multi-religion little area called Fermanagh in Northern Ireland. And this bigoted man won the election 2015, and he gave up a speech that was a phlegm from a duck's arse. It was bad. It was bad. And it incited me to write a poem about just how bigoted they are. The DUP, I don't know whether you know them, are very bigoted. They believe in dinosaurs, and they don't believe in gay rights or anything like that. So, and in Northern Ireland, colour has a lot to do with it. The flags, protest, orange, green, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, I wrote this poem about the nature, how it deals with political problems in Northern Ireland. So it's called Off Colour. As in not looking very healthy. Can you hear me all right?
Yep.
I get an echo here, so there's no echo.
yes, I got an echo.
I'm getting an echo too.
Right, so maybe I'll slow down. Maybe it stopped. Anyway, here we go. Off colour.
Maybe if we all mute ourselves. I'm going to mute.
Off colour, off colour. Yeah, that's no echo now anyway, not my end. On a day beyond days, as I gaily did wonder, the peat neath me feet did ferry me on, and the wheelbarrow birds in dainty formation, in the webs made a beeline, in key played along. The ill-mannered when
Has everyone been muted?
I got no sound there for a bit.
No.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay.
Can everyone hear?
Sorry about this.
Yeah.
I've got thumbs up. Okay, do you mind if I start again, because I think I got tripped up.
Yeah.
It's not very long. So, on a day beyond days, as I gaily did wander, the peat 'neath me feet did ferry me on, and the wheelbarrow birds in dainty formation, as the webs made a beeline, in key played along. The ill-mannered when it bid me good morning, and bright yellow crown all dappled with gold, and the bluebells rung out in perfect profusion, and the brave silver birch shone like armour of old. By the shores of Loch Earn, me breath nearly left me, for I swear that I heard that green wasn't right. Like orange, red and blue make up the old rainbow. Oh, colour-blind bigots, I pity your plight. Well, back to me dander, to muse and to ponder, why colonised colour should cause so much strife. I was gawking at Dawkins and ragweeds whilst walking, how nettles and thistles invaded high life. By blueberry bray, an atheist heather, ambushed a few fuchsia and led into a hedge. In this dazzling fight, the bumblebee rumbled, how one man's wrongs no other man's rights. So come all you rare breeds of every persuasion, don't dare you tell me that orange isn't right. Like green, red and blue make up the annals of Ulster. Oh, colour-blind bigots, I pity your plight. That's it. So that's my political statement on behalf of the Seamus Gavin party. I'm echoing again.
That's a lot of approval, I think, Seamus.
Sorry, Rich.
But I can't actually remember what I said. I think it was something like, I just had a lot of approval from most of us, I think, from what I could see. Right, okay, so I announced we had a special guest. It's all the way from Westminster. Right, if he's around, it's time to welcome Boris Piffle Johnson.
Hey!
Right, hey, Boris.
Good evening. Can you hear me, Mother?
We can hear you.
It gives me great delight to talk to you this evening. I must admit to a slight misunderstanding. I thought you were Highgate Poverty Society, and as an expert in poverty, I felt this was an opportunity for me to put forward new proposals from this government. So as you can see, I'm caught on the spot rather as it's poetry, but I think I should just ignore that and move on swiftly and then no one will notice. So we have a new policy for which I need to apologize to the people in the north. Unfortunately, when I gave this talk earlier on my mobile podium over here in Scotland, I saw Nicola Sturgeon. She was very nice. She gave me a box of shortbread, you know. Empty, but it's a lovely box, and I think it's the gift that counts and not the thought. Don't you? Anyway, so unfortunately, as I was explaining, in Scotland, the R, if we had an R now, which is very important, we do need to control the R. The R is very large here, as you can see, and this is how large it would be if Jeremy Corbyn was in charge. Fortunately, one moment, small technical difficulty. Fortunately, the R is currently this size. If you can see that R, very small. But when I was in Scotland, I accidentally took it from here, and some people thought that the instruction was something other than it is. So I do apologise for that. Thumbs up if you've got the new message. Eat the poor. Eat the poor. You have it. I don't know if you can see that. I'll see if I can get it off there. Look at that. Well, let's just carry on as if nothing happened. That was the new track and trace, which is just switched on to tell me, your Prime Minister, that all is well. Everyone is being tracked and traced. So do not worry about that alarming sound. Ow. Eat the poor, here we have it. It comes with... Well, first of all, we think it's right. We think it's fair. It treats everyone equally, be completely voluntary, and comes with a delicious range of sauces. I commend it to this house, and indeed to the house next door. Thank you. A little close to the bone, perhaps. So, what else have I got to tell you about? Well, I'm going to have a sad face, but I have to make sad announcements. Here it is. So you can see now, this is the face I will use when people die. Sorry about that. We need to move on. Get going. Get yourself a bicycle. Write to me, I'll send you a voucher. You can get into hair. We can get on a bike. Let's get going. Sunny uplands. Spitfires overhead. Bulldog spirit. Get up. Has anybody got any questions for the Prime Minister?
When are you going to resign?
I don't know if you could all hear that. I think that was Laura Koonsberg, the BBC. Thank you, Laura. I don't know if you all heard that. Laura was just asking me what to do about people who are shielding. I'm glad you reminded me of that, because we, your government, will be providing a shield for everyone who is shielding. This will come in the post to the most vulnerable over 75s who work for the NHS. Thank you very much. You've been a wonderful, delightful audience. I could talk to you all night about poverty, but I can't be asked. Bye.
Cheers, Boris Piffle Johnson. I'm sorry?
That was a very, very long poem.
Yay! Yay!
Beautiful.
Lovely. Right, okay, I'm going to read a couple. This is one I wrote, I think on Friday. Something I've been doing during the pandemic is kind of playing with poetry forms, and this one's called A Cascade. I hadn't planned to read it tonight. However, Anya was talking about Devon, and this one's called Blackpool Sands, which is a place in Devon. Blackpool Sands. But you know how much I love to see you in the summer on the beach by our sea. We run close to waves and back again. And you know how much I like to laze around on towels, on pebbles with my eyes closed. But you know how much I love to see you. And you know I have to keep my shirt on and pull the hatch brim to cover my eyes. In the summer, on this beach by our sea, you reveal tanned skin in skimpier costume, lie down wet toweling beside me. We run close to waves and back again. Thank you.
Yeah. Lovely.
So this is one I had planned to read. It's in the old black book. It's called Running, and it starts with something a wheelchair user once told me, and quite soon after that it returns to me and my history of running. As all of you can see on screen, that I am quite an athlete, for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, very good.
Run, 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 and I run in dream as sea dreams again of walking. Run, 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 and as I run, but I never run for pussies. Run, 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 I run into the future from summer into autumn. I run fast, streamlined, running into wind. Run, 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 I run furthest and further than I've run before. I run with breath, the wind filling my lungs. Run, 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 and I wonder why I'm doing all this running. Wonder on waking up, but I never go running. Run, 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 it's ridiculous, it's too hard, it's no fun. I know I'm always running nowhere except from my past. Run, 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 running from somewhere lost to memory. Run, 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 look at this stupidity. Run, no, stop. Slow down. Take it easy. You are here. You have arrived. You are safe. Stop it with all this running and breathe. Thank you.
Yes.
And my next guest, I've got two special guests today. The next guest is somebody I've been working with recently, watching a recent film based on a kind of book she published called The Girl Who Forgot How to Walk. But a friend I made last April up in Barrow-in-Furness, Kate Davies.
Thanks, Richard. I was just going to say, I'm just going to have to dash off, everyone. I'm really sorry, but you've shouted my name out, Richard. So if I do leave after this, it's nothing personal at all. I've got family here. I was thinking about there's lots of poems about the unsureness of the world at the moment. Lots of really great stuff. So I thought I'd read a couple of poems about my relationship with the ground, which is slightly odd. I'm not good on my feet, so I'll read a couple of those if that's okay. Am I echoing too much, Richard?
I don't think so, Kate. I can hear you fine.
I can hear an echo, but as long as it's not me. Okay. The first one is called Peninsula. We never speak of it, but here I can hear my own echo. Is it all right for everyone else? Yeah. As long as it's okay for everyone else, I'll just ignore it. Sorry, I'll start again. Yeah, Peninsula. We never speak of it, but here we know the land cannot be trusted. So a woman might reach out her hand towards a rail in Debenhams, and for a fraction of a second knows the earth beneath the town is shifting as limestone lays itself open to rain. Grains of sandstone slacken and then let go. cracks in old mine shafts expand, and another gram of soil slips sideways without a sound. She'll pick out a dress in pink, hold it up to a friend, and they'll laugh, link arms on the way to Costa, sit mocker as the Permo-Triassic rocks dip further west. The glacial sediments of Walney drift towards the Spitz, and the peninsula hunches down in the astounding wind. That was a very strange experience. I kept having to wait for my voice to stop. Anyway, sorry.
Nice one, Kate.
Richard, I think
As long as you can only hear me once, I'll just try and ignore myself speaking back to me. No, it's not. The microphone's not too near anything. It's where I usually have it, so I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Right.
I think
Okay,
you got
I
to
shall-
read the same poem 10 times.
Sorry?
You got the right to say the same poem 10 times at the same time.
Well, I've already said it twice. Okay, this second poem is about one of my experiences of being in hospital as a child in the 50s. And it's called The Ethel Headley Hospital for Crippled Children. The Iron Lung Girls have brought their Manchester eyes to the ward. They clock her in their mirrors whenever she comes in. The bodies of the Iron Lung Girls are canals, stagnant inside their breathing machines. They have done away with the need for ankle socks and sandals, done away with coats buttoned to the neck to keep out city winters. The voices of the Iron Lung Girls are pushbike sluicing Stretford wet. They unroll words confident as new lino. Some days, a nurse will slide one out of her machine, give her a loop of coloured wool, and she'll make Jacob's Ladder, Cat's Cradle, Witch's Broom. Jacob's Ladder, Cat's Cradle, Witch's Broom. In the fingers of an Iron Lung Girl, wool becomes water, pattern flows into pattern, and she wants to learn how to make the marvellous patterns. She wants to make the patterns herself, but it is a difficult thing to do. And they watch her in their mirrors, keep their Manchester eyes on her. She's afraid of the Iron Lung Girls. Thank you very much. That was not echoing at all. So thank you very much for that. If I have to dash off, I do apologise. I've really enjoyed hearing what I've heard so far. I'll just turn my microphone off.
And it's been kind of lovely to see you, Kate. Hope to see you again. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. And she's on my screen. It's Wendy.
Hey, me.
Wendy.
Oh, hey, me.
Hey.
Oh, no. I think I can hear myself.
Read us two poems, kiddo.
I am Millie Casper. I am Millie Casper. Ain't she a goat? Bloody hellfire, look how she walks. I am Millie Casper with more than one brother. I am Millie Lohman peddling my dream. A lifetime of walking, pressing out my dream. Oh, this is ridiculous. I can keep. Are you hearing me twice?
It's someone else's microphone.
Maybe.
Like Andrew and Christopher have got mics on. If we all turn off our mics except for you, we'll...
Oh, how do I do that?
Hello.
Oh, actually mute. Hold on.
Yeah, click on your picture and go mute.
Sorry about this. Is that better? That's better for me anyway. And I'm more important than it. joking. I am Millie Casper. I am Millie Casper, ain't she a gawp? Bloody hellfire, look how she walks. I am Millie Casper with more than one brother. I am Millie Lowman, peddling my dreams, a lifetime of walking, pressing out my sharp seams to flapping rags around my knees. I am Millie Liar, with loads of bedlaying fantasies, much cosier here, why bother with my kingdom of ambrosia? I am Millie Mitchell with more than schemes, this happy breeder, East Ender, your typical dodgy bleeder. I am Millie Budd with a starry stammering face in the mud, struck dead by an angel of God, yet the angel must hang, oh aye, bloody law of sod. I am Millie Elliot, dancing myself into oblivion, seams sewn up under me feet, waltzing me out of closed coal holes in a war of deceit. Silly Millie. I am Millie Casper, who tries, who tires, but can't get forward, 'cause Millie had Billy and Billy had Judd, and Billy turned into Judd Jr. Judd made sure Billy was brussened, and Judd married Grice Pudding. They had a bonsai pud, called Millie Unhinged. Well, he would, it's in his blood. I am Millie Pilgrim, alive in another time, not in my time. Optimistic, optometrist, the earthlings never understood. Little Millie don't like it living here in this town. It's a rat trap, Millie. Don't get caught. But I am Millie, silly Millie, Millie your buddy, in a sodding blue striped pyjama drama of a look back in anger, backtracking spilt milk, coulda, woulda, shoulda, hindsight Hilda, je regrette, par excellence. Thanks. Hopefully, thank you. Hopefully you got that was from, I know Michelle, remember, she said she was Millie Mitchell when I read it before at Liberty, and she had it, and it's a play on all the Billy and Willies in heroes, in, like, you know, Billy Budd, Billy Casper in Cares, etc. So, but I thought, well, what about the Millies? So this next one, it's called Warzone. I've been watching, this was inspired by watching Bitter Lake. I don't know if anybody saw that on BBC4, an excellent documentary about how all the problems in Afghanistan started. And there's a new one on called Once Upon a Time in Iraq, was just compelling and heartbreaking. And poor Iraq, it's just, anyway, it just reminded me about this poem I was inspired to write after watching The Bitter Lake. Warzone. Afghan kids fired like jump leads at explosions behind, in front, all around them, rocked out of their cradles. Slapping her head, a little girl with 100-year eyes, panics, screams. I recognise the fear. I am back, nipping my skin, pulling my hair. The volts charging through that little body, shout and scream and thud and dream. I wish I were 1,000 miles from here. The man in charge fires the guns, plants the seeds with the bombs. The little absorb the shrapnel fallout, tearing humans from humanity, smacking their faces, smack dispersed to places far from here, into warlords, into their own worlds, pacing the future in empty halls of a shattered mind. I'd only heard of Afghan coats. Afghan kid, they cut our throats together. Thank you.
It's really nice to contest with topical delays. I think it's worth a lot more comment if anybody wants to make any. Or we'll move on to our next speaker.
Well, I think, yeah, I've been watching those programmes. They're amazing. So it's an amazing response, Wendy.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Denis Herbstien, Mr. Herbstien.
Sorry, what was that? Can't. Sorry, what was that? Can't.
Denis.
Me. Terrifying group of poets here.
Yes, please.
Good evening.
2 poems, please, Denis.
My first, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
No.
No, I can't hear me, Daddy.
Has somebody got the telly or the radio
Oh, we
on in
can
the
hear you a little
background?
bit.
You're not on mute.
Oh, I unmuted myself because I can hear someone's radio or telly. Maybe they've turned it off.
Richard.
There's only Michelle who's not. No, everybody's muted.
But is it possible to come closer to the microphone? Denis, can come closer?
Okay, let me do chat. Okay.
But we've got a slight technical hitch over at your side, Denis. So whilst we're waiting for you to find a solution to that, I'm going to invite Christopher. So Christopher, if you can turn on the mic, if I don't turn it on for you.
Okay, I've turned it on now.
Good.
And I can hear an echo myself.
I'll turn mine off.
Okay. Ah, that works. That works.
Can you hear us now, Richard? Can you hear us now?
I can hear you, yes.
Oh, okay. Well, Denis can now, when you're ready, Denis can do it.
Do you want me to read or Denis?
But if I can ask you to just hold on a minute, Christopher. I will Denis.
Me, okay. Right. Can you hear me? Can I hear me? I can't hear you. That's good. Okay.
Richard, you're going to have to mute yourself again.
Can you put it on?
Yeah, I will.
Now you can go.
Okay. Right. This is a slightly obscure poem. I'm not quite sure what I'm saying, but I did that to reflect our leaders on the Conservative side. So I have every excuse for producing something like this. It's called The Mayfly. I wish to know if I am dying, for there are poems to entrust. They may not be fine quality, but written down they must. Set the timer to 3 minutes, hours, years. The space will be mine. Who knows what I'll say? Just freeze the clock and pour the wine. Villainous time steals it, hoards it, leaves it in the attic, forward and back to the beginning, from all that has been and will be. Thief of thieves, when so many despair for it. Dear mayfly, of your one day and one night on the pond of life, and me thirsting for evermore, taking until all has gone, time. Okay, as usual, I've got a poem about death. That was somewhere in between life and death. It's a bit longer. It's called Cremation at Benares, which is the holy city of India, of course. And just to tell you, a ghat is something on the river where they bury people, burn them and bury them. And a lungi are those sort of white trousers sort of things that Indians wear. Cremation at Benares. In blue jeans, in bathing trunks, lungis, Y-fronts, jock straps even, the pilgrims wade into the holy water and do what Hindus do in prayer, mutterings, grasps of ecstasy, hands reverently clasped. They wash their clothes in it, brush their teeth, clean silver pots. The poorest of them alongside smart men from Bombay, dog paddling in the Ganges. The sun comes up on the far bank, tail trailing in the river, gaudy Arabian Nights balloon. A wizened soul opens the shutters of his houseboat, draws up the water in cupped palms, drinks. Here a boatman offers a burning candle, which I float on the water. Ganga Ma, forgive my transgressions, may I attain salvation. 10 rupees. We pass the ghat where the poor are cremated. A crow eyes a cow's carcass floating by. Here, a second peddler has postcards of Benares, 50 rupees. I say, thank you, I'm on my way to breakfast. You miser? Yes, miser. Where are you from? Nowhere. Ah, you know my brother in Norway? Breakfast, then lunch. At Harishandra Ghat, the crematorium of the poor, a cow takes its siesta among the pyres. Men chop logs, others drag them down the steps to where the poor are waiting, while others sweep up yesterday's ashes. In death too, each caste knows its place. Goats munch the discarded marigolds, while eldest son haggles the price with the funeral man. He must settle for bamboo. 300 kilos of sandalwood is beyond his means. Wrapped in white cotton, wreathed with garlands of marigold, mother is brought down on a litter and placed on the flames. And now she is almost done. The protruding feet glisten, soles and heels in good trim, nails seemingly well manicured. The rest is ash. In a weekend barbecue in the back garden, we shovel a slither of wood back into the blaze. The untouchable edges a half-spent log under the feet, and the son watches as the final fleshly relics of his mother roast merrily. Duty done. At the next ghat, At the next get-along, a serious cricket game is in play. Youth slogs the ball into the ash-ridden current, and it's retrieved by a pilgrim, taking his swim of swims. That's it. I read that badly.
You should have rehearsed.
I can't hear anything.
Well, you're not on mute.
No, I can't hear him at all.
I'm sorry, I thought my mic was on and I was speaking to Denis, but can we hear Christopher now, if he's still there?
No, is he talking to me?
Sorry.
Yeah, Christopher's there. Turn on mute.
Yes. Okay. Actually, I can't understand this. In the top left-hand corner of my screen, it says recording. I don't want to be recording. Does yours?
Why not?
Does yours say recording? Hmm. Oh.
Yes.
It does. Oh, okay. Oh, well. All right then. I'll read my. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, Rich asked us to write a poem called "The Woods," so that's what I did. So here we go then. The Woods. My Uncle Jack felt at home with the woods, sawing and planing them till they were smooth, flat surfaced or shaped and made into goods for consumers to buy, their homes improve. His mother was jolly and lived near the woods. She saved my mother from a sexual attack, waving her copper stick, frightened off the no-good. Tummy wobbled when she laughed, mother of Jack. Jack smoked roll-ups while watching wrestling on TV, but they went out when he slept automatically. The same end befell his yellow and green budgie, which liked to shower in the sink, chirping with glee, under the tap, lost tragically. His father, a fellow tall of frame, strong, sturdy, I can hear the feedback again. Anyway, his father, a fellow of frame, strong, sturdy, or should I say fella, for that was what he was, worked deep in the woods, cutting down matured trees, making staves for bows and barrels by riving logs. On land owned by a dame, named Ethel Lock King, wife of Hugh Fortescue, he financed the track at Brooklands in Weybridge for motor racing. Tarmac replaced woods, nature never came back. Jack's surname was Boxall, he married a Woodward. Would you believe such a coincidence so rare? Appellations, dispositions, both struck a chord. A florist, a woodsman, happy life, no cares. So that was that one. Thank you.
But we liked it, Christopher.
Thank you. I also wrote one for you, Rich, as you know, about one of your pictures in your Iron Men. I don't know. Do you want me to read that?
Yes, why not?
Yes. Okay. So this is inspired by one of Rich's photographs of I've forgotten his name now. Was it? And is it Anthony Gormley, the chap who did the Iron Men? Okay. The Iron Man of Victoria Square, 6 meters tall, but with feet nowhere to be seen, buried beneath Birmingham paving stones. 6 metric tons leads backwards and to the left. Iron Men by Gormley, 2 face seawards. Stark naked on Crosby Beach, 100 strong. They depict his own body. Is that so wrong? Revealed or submerged as the tides ebb and flow. His Angel of the North, controversial still, for some residents of Gateshead, Tyne and Weir. Others view it from a car and train as a sign. Their rusty flasher means home. They shed a tear. Not men in the sea, it holds sway in the sky. Unlike the Iron Lady who dominated the land, iron fist in silk glove, her handbag in hand, her statues ironically fashioned in bronze. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I will now move. I will now mute.
Okay, thank you. Next up, Michelle. And after Michelle, we'll have June, and we would have completed a circle after June. And so perhaps we can all get to have another go. Let's see.
Okay.
Michelle.
So yeah, me, lovely. Hello, good evening. So I've got some poems about Boris that I've written, and it's 2 verses. It's Boris the teapot. I could write a poem about Boris that rhymes with porridge, or pink flamingos that rhyme with bingo. Whilst Boris goes on a fandango, the Queen does a tango, flippity-flop, and buys a Berlingo. Meanwhile, Boris is in a tangle and gets himself a Morris. It's no Jaguar like Thatcher had. Boris is caught in the back of a Morris, dodging the press, handcuffed and bundled off to jail for his fiasco. However, Boris held a party, and his guests were boys from school, a club of bullies who wore school ties, and a girl called Pretty Patel. They drink till they sink, and they Morris dance with the Boris, who gets married to Doris and stays up late with Bump the Trump, who gets the hump when Dominic keeps coming, and the UK is buzzing. Chinese whispers don't disappear as Cummings keeps on coming and Boris is stuck deep in shit. As Cummings is coming, they are all brown-nosing. So that's my poem about Boris.
Hey.
I'm echoing. I hope everyone can hear all right, because I'm reading off my screen, so I can't see if anything's in the chat. Anyway, this one's in the making. I haven't finished it yet, and it's called Is Lockdown Ended? We sit in a private garden, socially distancing, of course. This is the new norm. All 5 of us are survivors of sorts, of course. There's a 73-year-old knocking back the gin who's been shielding for the past 6 months. They cured my cancer, he shouts, but I ain't a man no more. I said to the doctor, you cured my cancer but stole my masculinity. They don't tell you, they didn't inform me that I would have uncontrollable peeing for a month. Sometimes I still just need to pee. It's awful. I can't get an erection anymore. I can't date. And worst of all, after years of practice, I can't even masturbate. Next time you see me, I'll be wearing a skirt. He laughed uncontrollably. So they castrated you, she asked. They stole my masculinity. How can I go on a date? I can't fuck no more. No woman will want me, he yelled. Then there's the young guy who lives next door to me. He's 23 and making noise. And it sent me, you know, nuts. I wrote him a letter and then he chased me. The police came and I told him, I'm 73. He's driving me nuts. And then he chased me. What chance have I got up against a 23-year-old, eh? I'm not a man anymore. I'm also 73. Look at me. I took my jewellery to the surgery and they gave them 18 rings. What good are they in my bag when someone can wear them? I used to turn over good money at Camden. with my one-off designs. I had the workshop at Warrior Studios. Good times they were. Sell anything. Can't sell a thing now. Borough Market, it's a waste of space. It's just food for one-off holiday makers. Nothing for local people. It's all money. I have high cholesterol, said the small woman who couldn't get a word in edgeways, as the 73-year-old 6'5" who had lost his masculinity was so loud and dominated the space. They're giving me hormones, you know. I'm growing tits. There was laughter as he gesticulated. I told the doctor, I'm a Bermondsey boy. I don't want no tits. That's not all they say. It's in my lymphatic system. I don't know how long I've got. And I'm going deaf. No hearing test, you know. No one can speak. But they all know this is his first outing for 6 months. He's been inside the house or hanging out on the doorstep, talking to anyone who'll stop. He's had cancer, and he's still got cancer, but his treatment was stopped as COVID-19 swept the land beneath our feet. He, like all 4 others, should have been shielding. All 5 are shell-shocked to be out. That's as far as I've got, really, with that one. Feedback gratefully received.
Interested with that angle on it.
Really witty, and I felt bad laughing. It's not funny, really, but you made it easy as well.
That's what I was trying to do, make something that's quite heavy.
Yeah.
Heavy. Yeah. Hey, I want to know how it ends. Is it a happy ending or a sad ending? Or has
it isn't yet finished.
She doesn't know. She hasn't yet finished it.
I want to know if it's a sad ending or any ending at all.
It might not end.
It might not end. It might not end.
Come ça.
Actually, if we can all mute our mics, and our last guest is Gosling, please.
Oh, that's kind of you to call me a guest. I thought I was just popping in, but I've gone through my iPad very quickly. And is the sound okay? Can you hear me? Brilliant. And this is a short one called Country Stop, which has got a slight link to the woodland theme. The distant roar of traffic penetrates the shadows through the cool, still air. But here, the green man rules. Branches reach to pull at hair. Close by, a rabbit screams, and the snap of a twig underfoot hastens our journey onward. And that, Andrew, reminded me of you with the idea of the green man. There's a couple of very short ones from 2016 that I was reminded of today. I think you can tell from them that I was in charge of the projects and it was a bit burdensome. But this was written in Memorial Park, West Ham, when we occupied it and were in residency there as Together 2012 for a month. And we ran all the weekly poetry groups outside in the park. And this is called Park Maintenance. And when I went as a sort of post-Shield-E to put my bins out this morning, I noticed they'd finally cut the tiny little green space opposite, and it reminded me a bit of this. So this is Park Maintenance. Dandelions raise their heads to the sun. Daisies nod in the breeze. Insects hover, darting at the pollen. Leaves push jubilantly through the grass. Creatures scamper and slither in their shade. With a roar, the blades come from nowhere. chopping and cutting, slicing and shredding, ripping and tearing, when all that is left is silence. A satisfied voice says, "There, it's tidy now." And that was when Newham closed all its park ranges and handed it over to Serco. And finally, if I can find it, A Midsummer Day's Dream. We had a series of poetry workshops based on dream themes linked to Newham Carnival. And I think this has become very relevant to me as somebody shielding. I dream of white beaches and blue skies. I dream of turquoise water and gulls' cries. I dream of the sun beating down as I recline gratefully under a parasol. I dream of iced drinks and gentle splashes and cool shade. Outside, the traffic roars, while the gulls rise from the rubbish tip, and the river, miles from the ocean, is dirty, grey and cold. The sun struggles against a yellow sky, and I feel tired, alone and old. Thank you.
Can you feed the cat now, please?
No, she just likes to be on any kind of...
Is she one of T.S. Eliot's cats? Makiewiez.
There's a big black fluffy one prowling very close.
Left. So I dare say we'll all be able to get another one in if we're quick. So going back to the start, Andrew.
Oh, right, I'm back. Well, I think I'd just like to do some more nonsense stuff, really. During the lockdown, I mean, one of my hobbies is cooking, and I spend a massive amount of time cooking and planning meals and having fun with food. And I've been a bread maker most of my life. I estimate that over my adult life, I've made about 3/4 of all the bread I've ever eaten. And it was a great disappointment as the lockdown began that I couldn't get wholemeal flour, and I tried to make all of my bread with wholemeal flour. I had a very small stock of wholemeal flour and some chapati flour, and I've been able to stretch my wholemeal flour out with more chapati flour. So I've done, sadly, far less baking than I usually would because of the flour problem. So I'm thinking of Monty Python. I've sort of spoofed this, and probably not very well, but I shall sing it to the worst of my capabilities. Every grain is sacred, every grain is great. If a grain is wasted, cook gets quite irate. Let the heathen spill theirs on the dusty ground. Cook shall make them pay for each grain that can't be found. Every grain is needed in your neighbourhood. Every grain is useful, every grain is fine. Let the pagans spill theirs o'er mountain, hill and plain. Cook shall strike them down for each grain that's spilt in vain. Every grain is sacred, every grain is good. Every grain is needed in your neighbourhood. Hey, that was it.
Yeah, I was good. It's like Life of Brian.
Right, yes. Yes, as I can't spill a lot of grains, I'm having to spill other things. something I'm very good at.
Cheers, Andrew. Nice to hear the song. We might get one of them from Seamus later on, but for now it's Gwyneth. Come in, Gwyneth.
Muted. She's muted.
Gwyneth, you're muted. You need to unmute, Gwyneth.
Gwyneth, come on!
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yay!
Can you? I can hear. Right. Over 20 years ago, I reluctantly moved from the countryside into the city for a whole lot of reasons. And I came across 3 poems I had written when I made that move. Because you'd be surprised at how many folks said to me, "You can't go and live in London. It's not safe." Anyway, I came to live in London. And this is one of the poems I wrote at the time. I called it Finding My Space. Am I the age that time cheats, all alone for the very first time? Do I drop out, subside, decline, or sit and spin and weave a dream? Or do I just try again? I'm here in London, just passing through. That was 20 years ago. Trapped by the spells of people and place. I'm not lonely, would you believe, in a city of people on the journey of life, looking for a space. Listening and living, seeking and searching, strangely and oddly fitting in. That was my gut reaction to moving to London.
Oh.
Okay. And I'm still safe.
Cheers, Gwyneth. Thank you very much. Mr. Anya.
Well, I missed what you said then. Somebody else?
I described it with a poem. Anya?
Anya, your turn. Anya, your turn.
She's gone.
Must have gone, yes.
Gwyneth, you're going to have to mute.
Oops.
Richard, you're the chairperson.
Anya.
Richard, you're the chairperson.
What person? Chairperson, maybe?
You're the chairman of the board.
Anya.
You're the chairman of the board.
Anya, it's your turn. Anya,
Anya's here.
Anya, you have to
unmute.
I think we should put out of it. What's happening?
anyone?
Not there. Can somebody else do? Not there. Can somebody else do?
Right, I don't understand what's happening really, but I'm going to pass on to
Richard, choose someone.
I'm choosing Seamus.
Andrew, that's better. Can you hear me with that? Can you hear me with that? Okay. I just thumbs up, everybody, if you can hear me without an echo. Thank you. This is this is a sort of I've been caught on the hop. Thank you, Richard. It's a sort of a semi-poem song because I've lost a few friends due to the virus. No thanks to the politicians who decide when we can come and go from our homes. But it's a song, well, a poem called Friends. So do you want me to sing it or do you want me to say it? Can Richard, you can put your thumbs up for whichever you want. Nothing there. Okay, whatever I want to do. Okay, okay. It's called Friends. I knew Paddy Doherty and he fought against vile poverty. He made a stand down by the strand, a full-bred Cregan firebrand. And friends may come and friends may go, fade away like the drifting snow, but some like memories appear, immortalized in verse right here. T.T. Jack and a whiskey mac, and me sat back sucking bladder whack. Cleared his name in a customs fraud, but now he sits advising God. And friends may come and friends may go, and fade away like the drifting snow, and some like memories appear, immortalized in verse right here. Urasan lived honestly, but he didn't like old Guy Daffy, so we locked him up and threw away the key, but he escaped, and now he's free. And friends may come and friends may go, and fade away like the drifting snow, and some like memories appear, immortalized in verse right here. Oh dear Jenny dearie-o, cheek to cheek on the cheerio. I'm so glad our paths did cross. Oh, I miss you now, and I feel the loss. And friends may come, and friends may go, and they fade away like drifting snow, but some like memories appear, immortalized in verse right here. And here's to those I dearly miss, to be with them and reminisce, for I'm a friend so much in need of their sweet loving company indeed. True love, as I've been told, can't be bought nor undersold. Plant it deep inside your heart and keep it safe in case we part. For friends may come and friends may go and fade away like the drifting snow, but some like memories appear, immortalized in verse right here. Thank you. Muchas gracias.
It's very moving.
Hate that.
I can't hear a word.
It's so patronising.
I can't hear a word.
Okay.
Who?
No.
Richard, you broke up there.
I think your leg fell off there, Richard. Your leg fell off there, Richard.
Yeah. I still got it.
Richard, your background is taking a lot of your bandwidth. Maybe if you turned your background off, it would stop the degradation of the sound.
Yeah. Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yep.
Excellent. Good. What I was saying was I hate people who do this.
What, the
I find it really
quotations?
patronising. Yeah. Quotations. You're doing it, Seamus. And Wendy, you're all doing it.
Who did?
It's horrible. Horrible.
I know, it's horrible. I don't do it.
No.
No,
That's horrible as well, Seamus. So I once wrote a poem about a punctuation mark, and that punctuation mark is this one. ... Right? I don't mind that one so much. It has a mystery to it. ... Right, so it's called blank verse. Blank verse. How to start. ... An introduction to a piece. Use an opening line. ... And follow it with 4 dots. ... Pretend there is more, that there's something hidden, or there's something to come. ... Keep molding on, hung in suspense. No one will ever know these lines which are not really there. ... Thank you. I've lost a few
Well done.
people.
Like it.
Right, thanks for saying that, Seamus. I was wondering, is it worth anything? Never done anything like that. So, Wendy, you're still there. Let's hear from you.
Wendy, you're still muted. Wendy, you're muted.
Oh, sorry. I was going to do one because she said it was about the woods, called Tree Speaking. It's a bit winsome. Oh, I'm not going to do that. It's a bit silly. So I'll do this one. This was actually published in South Bank Poetry, and it's called Horrorstocracy. Where are they now, those I want to it them girls? Tara Palmer Bumdier, Santa Pampa Do or Die, Tatiana what's the name, Tamara Beckwith Nail and I, tell me Caprice is in Nice with thunder thighs, how she bourrée toi with wonder bras. Linda wouldn't even get out of bed for less than 10 grand. Now she evangelises we're worth it on a popular ad. Yeah, like you keep your skin with a high street brand, Lynn. As for Christy Wisty Tourniquet, I imagine she is far away. And we won't mention Naomi, but because she's a homie. Well, do you wonder where they are now? Well, I've no El McPhee. Though they're not in the gaff, they're still here. If it's not a lippy ad, it's a Moulinex gadget. Yeah, my jaw dropped in the GP waiting room because Cindy's advertising a super deep pan fryer. Cindy, you liar. No chips for you, more like water stew. Or is that why you're hiding? That deep fat fryer has sent you into dire straits. Juliet says, hey, it's Romeo. You nearly gave me a heart attack. Not Romeo, Cindy. It was lard and fat. Get into gear, girl, not Richard, i.e. And shout with aplomb, fry fish and chips for less than £1. No, that's how much you weigh, Cindy. Where are they now, those posh totty it girls? Well, their awful spring are in my local bar, once frequented by Gert and Elsie. Seats are filled by Tiggy from Chelsea. Gentrified out of all control, no soul, just boot-teeped into non-recognition. Twatler raves about Lizzie Tatty Bollinger and Freddie Leveridge, dispensed of adolescence and crossed the Chelsea Bridge. Farewell to Dot, whom Bert sang, I drink to you the real London gang. Thanks. You can tell that's a bit of an old one from, but it does annoy me, the L'Oreal, hiya Loranic, because accent, as if they use, game fun, as if they use L'Oreal and rubbish. Thanks.
Hey.
Dennis, I've got the wrong voice, Dennis. Hello, Dennis.
Oh, Dennis, that's you.
Yeah, what? I have
Right, another one from you? Right, you've not got one.
Have you any?
Okay.
No, I'm afraid not. Oscar Hall said, what did he say?
That's okay, we'll pass on to Christopher. Also a note from Christopher. Michelle?
Okay, I've got another one. It's another Boris one. Oh dear, it's echoing. Is that better? Okay. So it goes, both suck. Oh fuck. He's a monster of masturbation. Mojo Bojo. Know what the fuck he does? He doesn't give a damn. He gets down with the people, adorns himself in their uniform. Yes, dressing up in working people's uniforms. He gets down with the people. He gets down on it, and he gets right down on it. Bojo's a man who likes to lick arse. Here comes the wanker to chop off your head. Mojo the Bojo. He gets Brexit done and into the microwave. It dries out and burns, and he gets down with the people, right down with the people, and he dresses up as a member of staff in a factory, and he puts on an NHS uniform when on the floor. He gets a bit part in the office, and he's squirting golden showers to flaunt his mojo. Bojo and his mojo are prepared to lick arse, all of the way up Cummings' arse. He uses verbal diarrhea to tie the media into knots, and the media have, of course, led on Bojo's discourse. Thank you. Hope you liked it.
Right, I liked it.
It was fucking class.
Well, I'm confused though. This man.
Let's do them.
It was naughty but nice.
Right, I am confused though. This man is our Prime Minister. We're supposed to honour and respect him. A lot of people voted for him. I've not met anybody who likes him. What's going on?
I've not met anyone who voted for him.
No, nor me. How did he get there?
But unfortunately, Jeremy Corbyn is the reason that Boris got in. There was no Bible opposition.
So can we have another poem from you, Joe?
Yeah, this is another one. Oh, who's got their microphone on? Is the echo gone now? So this is another poem from the Together Pop-Up Poetry Club's residency in Memorial Park, West Ham in August 2016. And it's one of my first attempts at a haiku, and it's called Falling. The apple falls off, rolls, bounces, skips, hops, then stops, not far from the tree.
Right, I like haikus, nice and short and sweet. Right, Andrew, let's kind of you in for another go if you want one. Andrew?
Yeah, okay. So on the topic of just silliness and general frivolity, whenever I open Facebook, it seems it's not long if I scroll down before I find something which is saying breaking news, but it's 2 years old, or something which is purporting to be news, but it's clearly not news, or something which is just fake or just lies or just conspiracy theory, and so I get quite agitated about this at times, and so I thought, well, let's just write a little piece, not really a poem, just a piece called Fake News. So first, here's the news. It rained a little on a few occasions last month. Erroneous. It rained a little just once last month. Fake news. Throwing it down by the buckle last month. Untrue. Without exaggeration. It rained every day last month. Misleading news. The tulips were in full flower. Dishonest. The hail flattened the tulips. Deceitful. The sun never shone. It was overcast the whole time. Invalid. It never rains at all. Bogus. It snowed twice. Lies. The sun never rose. Fraudulent. Buy this insurance and it won't rain at the weekends. That's it. That's it. Thank you.
And Gwyneth, what about you, Gwyneth? Have you got another one for us? No? Right, Anya, asking Anya again. So, nothing from Gwyneth, nothing from Anya. Ah, Gwyneth.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
You can hear, right? Well,
yep.
It's just one of my favourite walks in London is to walk along the South Bank. And it's something about walking along beside the river. I kind of feel as though I'm walking with history. The South Bank's so interesting. So it's just South Bank time. Take your time. Just look and listen. Slope by the market. Resist if you can. Cathedral cloisters. Just bide a while. London Bridge is standing still. As geese fly by, I see the clink, or what is left of Bishop's house. I feel again the pain, the shame of those unknown who wasted there. The Thames flows by to challenge all. The globe rebuilt to play with words. Following the stars, Drake sailed his craft, the Golden Hind, round our world. The Thames flows by. Just take your time to see and hear what was, what is. That's it. Did you hear?
But we all heard it, Gwyneth. Thank you.
Say again?
A nice river walk.
Right.
Cheers. That's Anya. Calling Anya. Anya, would you like to read a poem?
Anya left.
Oh, she's left. I can see a photo. Okay, Seamus. You have to turn the microphone on, mate.
Is that better? Can you hear me? Okay, this is a quick one. I think it sums up this evening the sort of way for the last 2 or so hours we've forgotten what else is happening in the world apart from when people swear about Boris Johnson and the like, which did cheer me up greatly. So it's one I recently composed. It's another song, but it's called Prayer. So it goes like this here. Come gather around me gently, lend me your loving ear, and let all worldly worries disperse and disappear. And ease that frown right off your crown, snuggled up so near, let no one tear asunder all that we hold dear, all that we revere. And seek not fame nor fortune, for they've no love nor care, and crave pure peace and harmony with healing time to spare. And clear your mind from thoughts, unwind and snuggle up so near, and let no one tear asunder all that we hold dear, all that we revere. And sunshine dappled memories shimmer into view, that soft prowess that you possess has always saw us through, to tap into that energy that turns our world around. And there's my love-struck melody, born of precious sound, for the loving ears I've found. That's it. Thank you.
Cheers, Seamus. Thank you very much. This one's called Space and Perfect. I'll read it as quick as I can and then maybe we'll get somebody else in. Space and Perfect. Never been one for perfect days. Never thought it lived. Never thought perfect days died. But I remember wanting to cut my losses, call it a day, just let go, float away, into space, into silence, onto the dark side, drifting closer to the sun, where there is no bird song. Bird song? I hear it, dawn choruses early in the morning, later on in day, close to ground. The last song I'd want to hear, blackbirds singing, songbirds, pull me back to earth, back to planet, smiling faces, babes in arms, the ridiculous mirth of friends. With friends, I think I'll stay another day and wander through these lanes looking for the perfect bird song, whistled lowly, close to silence, in sunshine above the grass, above daisies, walking lively, step lively, enjoy the pace. Thank you. Wendy?
Wendy's gone. She.
Any chance of another Wendy? Wendy's gone. Well, people are on my screen. Denis said no, Christopher said no. Michelle? Have you gone?
Michelle's gone.
I can read you a haiku. I can read you a haiku that I've read you before.
Okay.
Okay. So this is an educational haiku. It's called Seasonal Times. Leap forward each spring. Fall backwards during autumn. How to change your clocks. Thank you.
And can we close with Jim? One more from you, Jim? No? 2 minutes left. Anybody got one for 2 minutes?
I've got a very
Well, I'll say good night to you all.
I've got a very quick.
Okay, Seamus.
I remembered, I don't know whether I maybe said it at one other rendition of the Society. It's a quick poem I wrote once about being caught by a travel agent when I'm trying to travel from Ireland to mainland UK. And every time I bought a ticket from them, I ended up in ship, basically. So I wrote this poem from them. One time I got stuck up in Scotland trying to get to Leicester, and it's called "Come Here, Come On, Come Off It. Is bastards, you're making a profit. You sent me over here to sit in Stranraers, and you as fuckers, you think nothing of it." End of.
Really good, really good.
Yeah, naughty and violent in through 2 or 3 verses, you know.
Right, we'll have to remember that one, Seamus.
Short and sweet.
That's okay. I'd like to say thank you to everybody for turning up, showing up. It's kind of nice to see people here for the first time. But Kate was here earlier. Boris Piffle Johnson was here earlier. Christopher's here for the first time. Great to see you. Probably see you in a month.
Please.
Okay,
Let's
thank you,
ta-ra
Richard.
now.
Okay, thank you, Richard. Thanks, Richard.
Thank you, Gwyneth.
See you in a month. No, I'll see you more often than that
I'll
across
see
the
you.
road. I'll see you more often than that across the road.
Yes, maybe.
Maybe, yes.
Maybe, yes.
Bye all. Bye all.
Ta-ra, Seamus.
Bye, 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 bye.
Bye, 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 bye. Bye.
Bye, bye.
Bye, bye.
It looks like everybody's gone, Seamus, other than you and me. And you've gone too? Great. Only me.